can everybody settle down then? We're going to start the question time, the main event of the evening. Can I just thank the guys for coming tonight, Paul Cox, Nicky Moore and Adam Murray. So nice round of applause to welcome. Just the usual rules. If everybody can ask questions through myself and not shout out, that would be appreciated. Any mobile phones, if you can switch them onto silent or vibrate. We normally say that Coxie will fine anybody if the phone goes, but I think tonight we should just let muzzle loose on them. Right, who's for the first question of the evening then? We're going to go for about 40 minutes, then have a 10-minute break and perhaps another 20 minutes, so we've got plenty of time. Christine.
Mr. Cox, can you explain to me why every game, you never used to say it, but you do now, oh, it's going to be a hard game. Now surely that's psychologically undermining the players before they go out on the pitch. Because they know you've put a good squad in, and they know that they're just as equal to any of them big names, and they can do it. And in my mind, I mean, I've always studied psychology. You can laugh if you like. It seems to me that they're being undermined. If you're putting psychology, are they thinking, oh, we've got our game, we've got what's left? When they're perfectly able to do
I actually think that every game that we play in this league is a hard game. I don't think it's an easy game. I've been around this level of football for a number of years, and it's the hardest I've ever seen this league in terms of top to bottom. I would have thought last year you would have had a top 10 that was capable of winning the championship, stroke playoffs. This season,
why put it into them? It's going to be a hard game. Our players are just as good as them that come out for other teams. And another thing, sir, I should like to ask you. Why is Paul Connor being kept out of the side constantly when he's been brought in as a substitute and he's been scoring?
At the minute, Paul Connor's not 100% fit. And that's actually explained in the sort of press interviews. But in terms of hard games, every game in this league, we played Bath first game of the season, drew 2-2. Hard game. Can't think of any game in the season in this league.
Oh, but surely, as I've just explained to you, our players, they're good quality players, and they can equal any of them others that come on that pitch. They've got to go out with a mindset, look at you, Jack, I'm just as good as what you are.
Can I just explain that what I usually say to the press isn't necessarily what I say to the players? It's sometimes it is when I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to the actual supporters. What I say to the lads might be completely different, So there's a little bit of kidology in there sometimes, but anyone that thinks there's an easy game in this league is, this is the toughest I've seen it. It's been classed as the toughest league in English football to get out of, apart from the Championship. So, if we start getting an arrogance about ourselves and think that we can walk over people, we'll still win this league in 10 years' time. If we take every game as it's going to be a cup final, it's going to be a hard game, we might have a chance of getting out of it.
Yes, but why then, as Mr. Murray say then that they need motivation from the crowd? Admittedly, they do need the motivation from the crowd. But the motivation, as you know yourself, belongs in the dressing room. Which I'm sure, yes, you've been honest, you've been as honest as the day's long, and you've always spoken out.
Yeah.
But it's just disturbed me that it's going to be our game. Now we had Billy McEwen that used to say it, we had David Oldsworth that used to say it, and little could I, and the same thing's happening.
Yeah, but I think what we need to do, we need to stop looking at the past, Billy McEwen to David Oldsworth. I think we need to look to the future now. Like I say, what I say to the press and what's behind closed doors is probably a totally different. Well, it's taken in a totally different context. All I've done when I'm dealing with the press is I'm honest in front of the camera. I tell it as I see it. If people have got a problem with that, I've not got a problem with that. But motivation inside the dressing room sometimes is totally different to what's said on the outside. It has to be like that. You know, I can't tell supporters every little crook and cranny of what's going off in the club. Otherwise, myself and Steve-O's interviews have gone for about 3.5 hours. So, but yeah, it's, you know, I think we should start looking forward rather than keep looking back at Mick Ewans and the Holdsworths and Duncan Russells.
On the ending of that, I would also like to say that yes, we go to church at Eastwood, and you're highly respected still at Eastwood. In fact, some come and argue with us that you're here.
Thank you.
Tell them to come here.
Okay, Dan?
Got a question on everybody's lips. How much are we going to get for Tom Naylor?
Yeah.
None of your business, Dan.
What was asking for in the end?
Is it like more than 50 grand? Can you tell us that?
It's 6 figures.
Alright.
So, you know, what I said, you know, my job is to look after this football club, first and foremost, not to look after me or Tom or anyone else. It's about looking after the football club and make sure the football club's financially compensated if a player leaves us, you know, and it does happen. It's going to happen. You know, I know Tom's a Mansfield lad. He's a gorgeous lad. And I've worked with him now for a while, and he's a really honest lad. But this is going to happen at Mansfield Town. You know, if we produce a player, we've got some fabulous kids coming through. You know, as soon as they get in the first team, they could have 10 games, and then as long as we're compensated adequately and the stability of the club financially is looked after, then it's going to happen.
Can I say, first of all, I agree with one of your comments that I saw on the internet today, which was that we're in a good position at the moment. We're in a healthy position, better than most in our league, because we're at the top half for a change. If you had a magic wand, which bit of the team, one piece of the team, would you change to close that loop? Because to me, and I'm not a manager, and I don't profess to be, that's why I'm a fan only, it seems that in the first 2 months of the season, in over half the games, we only conceded at least one goal, never more than that. And we seem to be struggling to keep a clean sheet now. Now, again, I'm not the manager. It looks like it's the back four that we need to strengthen and get that, you know, you're not coming past us attitude. Because we're always going to score goals. We've got lots of players that can score goals if the ball's there at the right time. And that will, I think, sort itself out.
I think this would be a good question for all three of us, because it'd be nice to get a perspective of Mickey and Ellen as well. All I can say is, if you're analytical of our games this season, especially the home games, because a lot of supporters are coming to home games, if we'd have put away even the 3-0 at Kidderminster at home, probably take that out of the equation if I'm honest, because we never really started there, but we still had chances to score goals. Majority of games we've had 2 or 3 good chances to be Southport, we had 2 great chances to be, but if we finish off chances early on, we're in the driving seat. And if we've missed, being analytical of every game this season, we've had a good chance of, barring probably Fleetwood away, we've had a good chance of winning all of them by the chances created. So, if I had a magic wand, I'd like someone that came in alongside Greeley to ease the burden, if I'm honest, that could. I think we, as a team, I'm trying to be honest, we've become a little bit one-dimensional and relying on one person just to score.
Well, the fans
goals.
want him to score every time he gets.
I think with the defenders we've got at the club, I'm hoping John Thompson, Reece Day, are going to be back really soon, fully match fit. They're going to strengthen us in them departments. Throughout the squad we're quite strong in positions, but I think up front, I'd love somebody else that could score us another 15-20 goals. I think if we get that ratio into the side, into the squad, then I think we're in and around those playoff positions come the end of the season. So, do you want to?
Can I just ask you, Paul, on the back of that, we brought Louis Moulton in. And I know, just speaking personally, I would have sort of liked to have seen him thrown in. I know he's been playing like reserve games in 90 minutes, at home against Fleetwood and at home again on Saturday. Having listened to what you've said, did you not fancy playing 2 up top and having a right go?
Just letting you know about the Louis Wall situation. We brought Louis in really late on in the week before the FA Cup. We've been working on Thursday and Friday on a system formation, tactics to get a result. We felt it was a little bit harsh on Louis to throw him in Now, Louis started up at Fleetwood. Obviously, we all know the scenario there. And I went with a good reaction on Saturday, you know. Paul Collin might have come into the equation on Saturday, I think, if he was 100% fit. But I think people have got to understand is that from the start of the season, what the team that was going to start the season haven't really played much stronger side yet. And when we've got John Thompson back, we've had Louis Briscoe missing, Stevenson all of a sudden got back into sort of the frame and broke his metatarsal. So, one thing I've not done since the beginning of the season is make excuses about injuries. But we have had some horrible injuries that have hampered us. And it'd be nice to get the full quotation of players back, so we've got a proper squad competing with players in depth. That adds to competition. But like I say, Louis is a good player. I brought Louis in not on the strength of what he did last season here, but because me and Mick have been covering an awful lot of games of late, and he's done well. So will he get his chance? Of course.
In terms of your question about goals, if you look at the beginning of the season, then like the middle part of it up till now, we had a settled back four, we had a settled team, and the facts prove that. Do you know what I mean? So if you look at injuries, suspensions, Luke O'Neill has to go over to left back. Do you know what I mean? So we're playing a square peg in a round hole. Do you know what I mean? So that hasn't helped. So I think that is why we haven't kept as many clean sheets as we would like, over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But the flip side of it is, like the gaffer said, if you look at the games beginning parts of games where we've got the opportunity to take the lead. So if you look at Southport, Green has missed an open goal. 2 or 3 minutes later, they go and score. So it's a fine line. Do you know what I mean? So if we go 1-0 in front, all of a sudden then, confidence is a lot better, a lot higher, and that will help. At the moment, it hasn't helped us having to, obviously, play square pegs in round holes. We've signed Kieran Freeman on loan, so hopefully that will fill a void for this moment in time. Hopefully now, the next month or up till Christmas, we can get back to keeping clean sheets.
Can I ask you a question, please? I've been a Manchester supporter for a lot of years.
70 years.
But I know it's a very difficult job being a manager. I mean, I can't sleep at night when we lose, so I don't know what it's like for you and the player. But I have to say, I don't think you've brought bad players into the club. I think they're good players, but they're not playing very well. There's a slight difference there. But I can't understand when you've got Luke O'Neill at right back, who's a very good player. You've got the Freeman guy at left back, and yet continually, when there's a dead ball, free kick, goal kick, Marriott's lumping it up to Dyer for a flick on. Why can't the full-backs drop back? They're good players. Get the ball off the goalkeeper and start passing it around a bit. I mean, Murray's a good player, a good footballer, but they're not looking for the ball. They're not getting the ball off the defenders, and they're lumping it. And I don't want to see football out every week. So, what's your answer to that, Paul?
Did you want me to answer that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Going on that, if you come and see us away from home, I think you'll see a different animal.
I go to the matches away.
Yeah, and so you've got to admit that sorry, I can't see you there. Sorry, so you'll admit. I think there's quite a high level of anxiety with the lads at home.
No,
Taking your example, Alfreton.
Yeah.
If you saw us even against 9 men, we kept trying to put the ball right on the biggest centre half's head. I think it's a high level of anxiety. I think I've been quoted. I've said it on camera. These boys are really on his set, and they work really hard. But sometimes their anxiety and their willingness to work too hard sometimes backfires on them.
Yeah, of course it does.
You know,
if we score,
and I think they take the easy option.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if you look at Alfreton, the reason why we scored 3 goals, even against 9 men, is because we start spreading the ball from left to right and moving the ball quickly.
That's right.
You know, I think when you've seen our best periods at home, has been when we've had to make short passes. I've probably been when we were chasing games. You know, I think you know, like Saturday, albeit we lost, but second half I thought we did particularly well.
Well, no, we shouldn't have lost Saturday.
No.
But they scored 2 goals from, their second goal was quite a good goal, but the first goal was just a mistake.
Yeah.
But if we score early, like Hegarty had 2 great chances, if he scores one of them, we win the game easy.
Yeah. I mean,
I know I've played sport for years myself. It's all about confidence. And
Oh,
if
it is,
you
yeah.
lose your confidence, it's hard.
but if there's a high level of anxiety, and you know, I've picked up on it at home, and it's not just the players. I think you as supporters sometimes get anxious at home, and I see it. It's like a different animal away from home. Both sets, the supporters and the players, seem to be. I think it's like I said early on, the Stockport, the Darlingtons, is that the players play off the supporters and the supporters play off the players. And
Well,
it's
you always
a,
get the hardcore supporters going
Yeah.
away from home.
but it seems
I mean,
to be the supporters.
I went to Wrexham,
Yeah.
and they never stopped from the first minute to the last minute at
Yeah.
Wrexham. And the support was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we won at Wrexham.
You know,
3-1.
but there is, I'll be honest with you, there seems to be a high level of anxiety and the players become anxious.
But you always get moaners. You get moaners all the time.
Of course you do, but it's what I've said, especially after Saturday, is that we've got some very young players in the side that I think are going to be very, very good conference national players, if not Football League players, given a year's conference national football under the belt. You know, we've brought people like Meikle in that, you know, I've had him since he's been a baby, and you know, it still frustrates me now. Sometimes you can do 101 million things that are
One thing
brilliant.
about Meikle is he's a bit raw.
Yeah.
He runs without the ball occasionally, but he chases back. If he loses it, he runs after it, tries to get it back.
Yeah, you know, just
Which
to
is
say now,
fantastic.
I don't think anybody, bar probably a couple of occasions, the odd 20-minute here, where I don't think anyone can ever question the lads' work ethic. And so I'm saying that they're an honest bunch, and I think what's happened is that we've started the season. I was going to say we've started the season and then we're in a blip. You know, I still have got to remember we've only lost 4 games all season, which is we're still. Somebody said 5 points
Well, we're
off
still-
third place, 6
and
points
as
off
you
with the
said-
game in hand.
As you said earlier, you haven't played your best side yet.
No, but what I'm saying is that's not an excuse. We don't have to. We don't. You know, if John Thompson's not fit, I still expect to win football matches. But going back to it, I think at home, I'd love to put my finger on it and say, it's like comes first the chicken or the egg. Is it? Do we inspire the supporters, or do the supporters inspire us? And I think what I've said to the lads is, you've got to forget about everything. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm thinking about getting the lads in the next home game, getting the tracksuits on, getting the club bus to stand outside, and taking them a run round for an hour, and coming home. You know, and I know that sounds stupid,
I think somebody else did that
but
with-
psychologically, it's just something that might calm them down a little bit. Because honestly, I mean, a lot of you guys follow us away from home, and the noise at Stockport, Wrexham, Barrow was, you know. And I just think if you look at the lads just seem to be inspired by
I know
you.
they feed off that. Yeah.
You
But
know.
just one other question before I sit down. Why is it when there's a goal kick or a free kick, all the players move over to one part of the pitch where you can chuck a blanket over a lot of them? Why is that?
It's what.
That could be a weak link of the strength to ours.
Do you want to
Okay, just to answer some of the questions, yeah? So you might get frustrated that we go lopsided and say it's Ross Dyer on that side, or it could be that side. You've got to understand as well, we do our homework on the opposition, so that might be their weak link. So that's a weak link for them, a strength to us. So why wouldn't we play to our strength and their weakness? Do you understand?
I understand exactly what it's. I mean, Dyer's very good in the air. I ain't got
Yeah.
a problem, but he wins most of them.
Yeah.
But when you rely on flick-ons, that flick-on can go anywhere.
Yeah, it could
Look, when you've got Meikle, who's a winger,
Yeah.
he goes over with everybody else. If he came over to this side, they'd have to bring 2 or 3 players over. So therefore, it'd open international route. Do you not agree?
Yeah, but if what I'd say to you is like, you know, like say if you look and we play Ross Dyer for argument's sake, then this side, Lyndon hopefully or should be the one who's winning the flick on, because Lyndon's strength is running at players.
Yeah.
Lyndon's strength is dribbling. Yeah. So we want him to flick Ross to flick it on, and then Lyndon to do what he's very good at. Do Do you understand what I mean? So sometimes there is a method in the madness where for fans it might be a sense of frustration, but you have to understand that if you look at the games when we do play Ross and it's on a certain side, he wins 70-80% of the headers.
True.
Do you understand what I mean? And if he doesn't win the header, yeah, we're set up that people should be picking up the second ball to get us started.
Yeah, but having said that, I know it's saying they've still got a lot of their players over there at the
Yeah.
same time, so they could pick the second ball up just as easy as we can.
Yeah, of course we could. We understand that. Do you know what I mean?
And look, I know you haven't got an easy job, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is sometimes, we identify weaknesses of the opposition and then make it our strength.
Yeah, I still like the second ball players out a little bit more from the back.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, chap at the bar's got his hand up.
I think what he's trying to say is, when we get a goal kick and it's on the right hand side,
Yeah.
everybody piles across to that side.
Yeah.
Moses Marriott might pick it up and take it to the other side, the whole bloody lot move across. It's like sheep.
Yeah.
And it's happened for years, it's
Yeah.
always done it. But
Yeah.
why? Why don't we leave one man on that side to pull their defence apart?
Okay, so as an example, yeah, we're going to take the kick this side and we leave Meikle over that side. Yeah? Alan Marriott goes to kick it, he miskicks it and it goes to the centre forward, who scores a goal.
Oh, Mass's fault.
Yeah, so it's Mazza's fault. Yeah? So it's Alan Marriott's fault. Hand on your heart, how many people would moan?
All of us.
Thank you. You've answered your own question.
If he's across there, he's going to draw at least one or two
Yeah,
players with him.
but if he makes a mistake going across the field,
But if you don't have to kick it there,
You can
if
throw it down.
you drag two players across, and it's left that side open, it can then lump it that way. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily got to play it to Meikle, but Meikle can drag it out to it, to give it a bit more of a chance going forward.
Spread the players about.
Yeah, but even if, say, you're saying Meikle's going to be out there, he's going to drag a defender out, so he's going to drag the right back out, you're still going to be 1v1 in there, so it's still going to be crowded. And even if it does go to Meikle and he gets the ball, the rest of the team are on there, so he's going to have no support. So we play for that because our strength there is Ross winning the first header, hopefully putting Greeny in where he's got majority of his goals. If not, we're set up, the majority of our team there, to try and fall on the second ball to then play in the final third. Now, if we split our team over the whole of the pitch, there's that many gaps that if it does break down and we're not on the second ball, then we get played through. So,
Okay, Julian, did you want to ask a question?
The original question was lost a bit there. What we were talking about was why don't we roll the ball out from the goalkeeper to the fullbacks? I think the thing is, with the way we are at home, with the way the crowd get anxious, as you say, I think the word sometimes used is negative. Do you think that the reason for that is maybe that if they roll it out, throw it out to the fullback and make a mistake, they're going to have the crowd on the backs?
I think
Or
I
is that something
personally
you're
believe
willing
that
to do?
players are scared of making a mistake at home, and I think if we rolled it out to Luke O'Neill and he slipped over, whatever the scenario, and I think
Well, let's address that then, Paul. Let's address that.
Is that not right?
Let's address the why that we think the players are scared, because this is topical for Saturday.
yeah.
What's your body language? I've already spoken to Muzzle already tonight. The difference is at Mansfield is, once upon a time we had it good. We had wingers. We know we're not there now, but the fans here aren't like Forest Green. They're not going to sit and watch lose to Cambridge and think, oh, not bad, good game, we'll come back next week. When final whistle go, that reaction that you get is pure frustration, because we ain't losing. We're like, Muzzer, I've seen Muzzer shout on pitch and scream, we ain't losing. Me personally, I think he's doing a good job, and I think we've got a good side. The thing is, you've hit the nail on the head tonight, Paul, is let's address that situation. How do we get, you said it, chicken and egg. I think the way to work the Mansfield is you need to inspire the fans. The fans here, unfortunately in history, aren't going to inspire players unless you inspire us, and then we'll gear 110% back in.
Oh, can I just say that, I've never said supporters aren't going to give us 100%.
No,
you know.
no, no.
What I'm saying is being a footballer in a big stadium, it's a feeling,
Yeah.
not and it's an anxiousness, and it's really hard to describe when you're out there in the middle of the park and you get the funny feeling that it's not that you definitely, it's not as if you want to cheat. It's that it's a kind of honesty. It really is. I would go through my squad and I would go honest boys. I said before we came, you know, when I first came here, that these boys might not play like Barcelona. But by God, they're going to graft for you. They're going to work hard for you.
Paul, honestly, the supporters can see the honesty. I mean, Ross Dyer's got some stick. I don't think there's one person here that don't think Ross Dyer works his bloody socks off. He works hard, you know. The people reason they get frustrated with Ross, he misses chances that would win us the game, you know. But I think what the fans are looking for, and it's protection, is leaders on the pitch that protects them young players, that says, you know, lift your head up, don't get worried about that, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's, you know, unfortunately, this is Mansfield, and you're not going to change 2,000 regular supporters until you inspire them. And you know what it's like when you inspire them, because you beat Newport 5-0 and you inspired them.
Yeah.
And you got 2,000, whatever it were, fully behind you, and then we get a big following away next game. The fans are here to be won. You know, they are definitely here to be won. And some of these questions about wing play is because we've been spoilt in past with Liam Lawrence. And I know I've talked to Muzzle, you can't live in past.
No.
We have to move forward.
No, I totally agree with you. I really do. I just think all I can go on is the feeling in the dressing room. We go away from home, and I don't know if it's because it's no pressure. It's like we just go, sorry, we're going to play regardless. You know, Wrexham, you know, we went out first 20 minutes. I thought we was playing against 15 men, but after a bit, we actually put a foot on the ball. We actually moved it about left to right. No one could actually say that we didn't deserve to win it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely fantastic performance, but you played a different system when you played away. I think what the fans are looking for at home, Paul, and I know we've occasionally we've done it at home, played against better teams. I think everybody in this room wants you to play 4-4-2. We've had situations here where the crowd has shouted 4-4-2. Yeah. You know what I mean? And tried to influence the manager. But I think that the Stags team that you've got now, when you go 4-4-2 and when it looks like we're not getting no, when you shove Ross up front with Green, it game changes. Immediately game changes. So at home, I think that what we need to do is attack more.
Yeah, but going on that, once again, it's not an excuse, but you know, you look at the side that went on the unbeaten run, the injuries that we've sustained.
No.
You know, you take Briscoe out the side, and I know sometimes he's not everyone's cup of tea because people say he doesn't do this and doesn't do that. But the lad scores goals and entertains at this level of football.
Yeah.
And you need, you know, I personally believe that people like, I brought Lyndon here to be an impact player.
Yeah.
Lyndon's played nearly every game this season, and he really should be. What I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to protect some of the younger boys, but I can't at the minute because they have to play every week.
Yeah.
You know, the Meekles of this world, they have to play. Even Ross Dyer, people don't realise Ross Dyer's still a baby. You know, Ross Dyer is the most. Every time I pick up the phone and talk to a manager, and I know he's had a slating of late, everyone just said, Jez George's. I don't know if anyone read his programme notes and stuff like that after Saturday, but everyone was crooning about him. You know, he's one that give him sort of another 6 months, 12 months at this level of football, and you might have one hell of a footballer, you know, that scores goals and that.
Yeah.
And it's just at the minute.
Well, what we need to get away from though, Paul, is you know them 50 fans that's numpties. We've got 50 numpties here that will make things personal, that will attack you personally, will attack Muzzle personally.
Yeah.
They're not here, are they? They're not here.
No,
They're
I
not
totally understand that.
They're them that sit round tunnel or whatever and personally attack you. We're talking about the actual play, the fans that support you. You know.
Honestly, you know, I've seen it home and away. It's not, you know, what I didn't want to come here tonight, especially after Saturday, was I called for the club to be won when I first came here, because you're never going to be successful unless the club's won, you know, unless we're both singing from the same hymn sheet. Now, we're going through a bit of a blip. Now, we might have our blip end of October, early November. Fleetwood might have one at Christmas time.
Everybody has one, you're right.
What I'm saying is that it's now that I was sort of calling for the mindset in for us to become. So I feel the passion. You can feel the passion. But what I've said to I have a fans forum after most games. You know, we go down and have a pint, and I speak to a lot of people. What I've said is like, don't let passion sort of cloud where we want to get. You know, sometimes you've got to, me as a manager, sometimes I've got to bite my tongue. You know, and I think sometimes I think it's, especially with the younger boys, it's about protecting them a little bit. You know, because they are honest, and it's about where we are at the end of the season. You know, but we want, I want things done yesterday. Everyone knows that. He does, Muzz does. The three of us. You know, we're not here. I'm not here to make loads of money. I'm not here to bankrupt the club. I know these two aren't. We're here to be successful. We want the club to go.
Well, I think you're doing a good job, mate. Anyway.
You know, I think we want the club to go in an honest sort of way. We want the club to be back where it is. You know, but it's like sometimes we need your help as supporters. Sometimes to drown out the one or two. You know, sometimes in a football ground, I've played. You know, and obviously you can always hear the one. Say for the majority, sometimes drowned out the one. It can be proactive for an individual.
Well, I thought you were getting to you a bit on Saturday because I watched your interview and I thought Cox's body language is off.
I'll be totally honest with you. I felt, you know, I've people. It's been highlighted. Emails have been sent, and people have been coming up to me about what happened at the end. I've heard one gentleman at every home game now, not necessarily towards me, but some of the stuff he's been shouting at individuals wasn't proactive for the individual to become a great Mansfield Town player. Do you know what I mean? Now, everyone knows bad games, and I know there's crowd favourites and there's people that don't inspire sometimes, but they do. It's like John McGovern at Forest. You know, people say, oh, what's that little so-and-so done all the game? And yet, you take him out the side and Forest usually lost. You know what I mean? And it's not what. So it's when the player's walking off. I think players need to be told black and white. It's black and white. We lose, you get a you win. Let's start and celebrate. And I think some of the players have been not just confused with when we've come off, but it's been some of them. It's like a personal insult. You know, I think there's, you know, you're rubbish, Coxie. I don't like how I'm talking about me as a player coming off now, but it's been saying, I've heard things that end at players that have been real sort of derogatory, culminating in sort of incidents after the game when families and that. Now, that's not proactive. You know, if you want the club to be successful, and we all want the club to be successful, I'm not saying kiss our arses. I'm the last person to say kiss our arses. What I'm saying is, how can we sometimes sort of like drown out the one or two? It is, you know, we know.
You've got to smile at the ball and go past him. Yeah, honestly.
No, all I said to the guy on Saturday is,
you know it is.
You know, anybody that knows me, and after every game, me and Mickey, we usually have a fans forum in this car park when we've been for a pint up here, and we usually have a fans forum in the Talbot. You know, we're open. I give an honest answer to an honest question. I have a pint and a laugh with any supporters that come. I'll take a if you want to come and see me. But we sometimes need to. It's not about me or Mickey. It's about protecting some of the younger players that I think, even if they're playing badly, sometimes need sort of wrapping up a little bit, and you know, because the end product is being successful at the end of the season, not in the middle of November, if that makes sense. And it's, you know, I'm just hoping that once again that we can drown out the one or two. You know, that's not me. I'm not being funny or anything like that. I just feel as though I'm trying to sometimes pick lads up, and I have to work hard.
I'll tell you what, I've got a strategy for you. Right? Get a snow stand back, then you'll have to walk past it.
Yeah.
Totally agree. It's what everyone wants, isn't it? So.
To that end then, you don't think it's going to be beneficial to bring the dugouts back to the west stand side so you're more where the crowd are, or would you rather be detached on the other side of the pitch?
No, I think, honestly, I don't know if anyone knows me, but it's not criticism. I'm not afraid of criticism. It's not me I'm talking about. With me walking off, if supporters want to boo me and boo Mick and stuff like that, that's not. I'm trying to, you know. Sometimes I was, you know, I wouldn't go. I'm not stupid. I wouldn't go down the Talbot I'd go and hide in my dressing room for 2 hours after the game. I wouldn't be out there to be shot at if I didn't want to understand how to make things right, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And we're never going to get things right unless, if you say, well, where's the manager then? And, I've just seen him driving away. He's gone for a nice meal and a nice, that's sometimes not the way to go forward. Sometimes you need to stand in front of the people that realistically pay our wages and take on board what they've got to say. So would I like the stands that side? Yeah.
Just that we used to like giving the opposition manager crap all games.
As long as it's not me, no, honestly, it doesn't matter. Either side, it's, I just think, like I say, support, I think especially being away from home, has been absolutely immense. And from what I'm trying to understand, the people that come to these things these forums now, and it's like the supporters that come home and away, and you feel the passion for it. All I'll ask for, once again, I know I sound like a scratch record, is can we sometimes, we want to be proactive in taking this club back where it needs to be, and to do that sometimes we do need to protect some of the younger ones. And I'm not saying if a centre half's been done 3 times and he's we get beat 3-0, I'm not saying to you go and pat him on the back, because we're all guilty of what I'm saying is sometimes when we beat Alfreton, I want us to start celebrating. I want us, and I know people say, well, you're lucky to win there, but we still won, if you get me. They can't be, I've spoke to a number of supporters, and I'll tell you the conversation I've had. It was, we got booed Saturday, and they said, yeah, but you lost. I said, I totally accept that. But we won last week at Alfreton, and we still got the same sort of response. Yeah, but you were crap. No, but we won. Can we be proactive when we won? Even if subconsciously we go out and go, bloody lucky. Because I said the same thing. I was down the Talbot. You'll tell we were lucky. We were lucky to win. But let's enjoy winning. I don't want the club to become negative and start picking at things. We should enjoy winning, What was on the little run?
We do enjoy winning.
We win. It's all about winning. I said to the same supporter, if we played like Alfreton and won the next 29 games, would you accept it? Absolutely, he said. Yeah. And not anything he was absolute passion in his voice. Absolutely went. I said, well, let's enjoy. Can we just enjoy winning? Because if I'm honest, that's what we're all in it for. We're all in it for. I know we have to entertain. And I know it's an entertainment business. But if we played badly for the next 28 games and got this club promoted by hook and crook, I think the majority in here would accept that. Well, you tell me, I could be totally wrong.
I know you got your hand up, Christine, but can Alan just ask a question? He's been waiting for a while.
Yeah, Paul, you said about injuries and whatever, and there's no excuses. So if you've got the perfect fully fit squad, can you give me your answer, hand on heart, who would be your defensive pairing, your 2 central defenders?
No. Excellent. Stick him on spot. How's he going?
Are we keeping Futcher?
Well, whoever.
No, Futcher's not really our player, is he? We've got John Thompson would have to come in. I just think he's a fabulous footballer, and he was our sort of marquee signing. And I'd love to see Reece Day back, if I'm honest. A fully fit Reece Day. Because I tell you what Reece Day does, and I've not seen him in the time I've been here play in the first team in a competitive game, but the man's a winner, and he goes and does. You see, I played centre half all my life, and some people might say I couldn't trap a bag of cement, but I could edit and kick it, and I could kick the centre forward. And I think Reece is in the same mode. I want my centre halves to keep me a clean sheet and keep me. I think the more clean sheets we keep, the closer we get to winning silverware.
The other thing I was going to say, that Reece Day will go up the other side and probably get you 5 goals, 7 goals a season.
I call it, he's a proper centre half, but we have been, once again, coming from the Ilkeston game, to go into an Ilkeston game with a game plan in your head for the first game of the season, to come out of it with 3 of your back 4 missing that was realistically going to start the season, add to Reece, into that equation. We've got some strength, but it's getting these boys back. And I know I've heard, you know, I speak to supporters all the time. When's Tomo back? When's Reece back? You know, we know they played in a game. I said, yeah, but it's about them not putting them back in there and hanging them in a way. You know, you want a fully fit John Thompson, you want a fully fit Reece Day in there. You don't want a half fit Reece Day that you remember being there and that you watch him there, because the thing about us as people, we're very animalistic, aren't we? And we judge people very quickly. So the Reece Day that we have in our head, probably, I don't know, I think the last game we played was like Newport at home, was it, live on TV? You think that was a Reece Day, proper boom. That's not Reece Day. And you understand, me as a manager sometimes I have to protect individuals. And
I understand entirely what you're saying. All I wanted to know was what your preference is.
Yeah, I like them both. I like Tom is a very, very cultured centre half. You don't play 200 plus league games in the Championship without being a good player.